probably CW has touched on some of my issues, but anyway, I'll try to make use of 10 minutes to share with you. Well, there are always some expectations or wishful thinking that we could source clean energy across the boundary. So the first point I would like to share with you is the access to clean energy in Guangdong. So in the present 12 5-year plan, that is from 2011 to 2015, the total generation from coal and gas by building new or approved power plants in Guangdong. For coal alone, it will be 20,000 megawatt, and for the gas, it will be around 7,000 megawatt. So all this together, just for the new build, will be almost 3 times, or a little bit more than 3 times of what Hong Kong has now. So after 2016, probably the total cogeneration capacity in Guangdong will be over 60,000 megawatt. So just this alone will be almost 10 times of what Hong Kong's total installed capacity. So could we imagine all this new build will stop operation or well, cut down their output within the next 5 years or so? Because all these are planned for at least 30 to 40 years of life. So as Robert mentioned earlier, definitely we can't expect any likeliness to have a generation other than coal, probably in the next 20 or 30 years. How about RE? A lot of the advocates expect Guangdong is so large, so there must be some resources or potential for the RE. Just let me share a figure with you. Last year, 2013, the total renewable energy is just 0.6% of what Guangdong consumed. So far less than 1% of what they expect. So this includes all the wind farm, a little bit of the solar, and maybe some biomass or whatever. Of course, a small percent of the small hydro, which is CLP, they own and operate, right? So that's the total. Could we take a large hydro as renewable energy? Sorry, I think even the central government and the United Nations do not regard large hydros as renewable energy. They're clean, but definitely not renewable. But to China, we don't have choice, right? Either nuclear or hydro or large hydro are the only way forward. About the reliance on getting hydro from distant provinces. Now Guangdong import quite a lot from the Yunnan, Guizhou, and Three Gorges. Last year, Guangdong import from Three Gorges about 12 billion units. So if Hong Kong is to get this 15 billion just mentioned by CW, that means we shall take away all the Three Gorges export to Guangdong plus some other else. For the large hydro, it also depends very much on the mercy of the God. Back in 2010, when a drought occurred in Yunnan and Guizhou, actually Guangdong has to generate more coal-fired generation to reverse the export to Yunnan to support them until the rain come back. So looking forward, any more hydro from distant provinces, that's very questionable, because everybody knows, or well, I suppose a lot of us environment passionate understand that building a large hydro probably is a disruption of a lot of the ecologies and will move out billions of residents there, etc., etc. And one thing, for the central and northern provinces in China, they are suffering from very, very bad air quality, smoke problems, etc., etc. But unfortunately, they don't have the luxury of too much hydro. Actually, most of the hydro, large hydro in mainland China, are sending to Guangdong. So what looks like maybe somehow the Three Gorges will switch their export to Guangdong further north to help to improve the air quality in the northern provinces. So that make Guangdong in a more difficult situation than Hong Kong in future to deal with the decarbonization and the air quality emissions. Before Fukushima, nuclear was the hope. But unfortunately, after that, basically all those inland nuclear projects were banned or suspended. When they could resume, nobody knows. There are a lot of speculations that probably later next year, the central government will announce But how true that was, we never know. Not until the signal comes out, we are not sure. So now, in Guangdong alone, it only relies on one or new coastal projects going ahead. Let me switch to the reliability issue. CW has already touched quite a lot. And one thing now, more than availability or reliability, is the quality of supply. To a lot of the modern city, not only the residential, probably is more related to the commercial sector. Quality of power supply is becoming more and more critical. It doesn't mean a blackout. Probably I don't see it's really a very high line. Even with a big interconnection with mainland China, we will suffer frequent blackout. But definitely the quality will be seriously affected. Again, from a security consideration, how many corridors will be available for us to build a new cross-boundary infrastructure? Just for your information, Guangdong import around 24% of hydro from three gorges, Yunnan and Guizhou. They now have 8 circuits of extra high voltage AC and 6 high voltage DC. How much is that talking about? It's really, really huge and occupy a lot of and take up a lot of the corridors over this 1,000 kilometers of transmission. Even for Macau, the government has frequently mentioned about Macau. Macau get 2 routes, one from the north near Guangzhou, and another from Wangqing, Wangkao. So basically, they are now having 5 220 kV and 410 kV circuits supplying the small Macau. The maximum demand last year is talking about only 700 plus megawatt. So you can see such a heavy infrastructure is needed to support a high reliability or security of supply. Could we have such a luxury for Hong Kong? And where would the corridors coming from? So CW has mentioned inclement weather, super typhoon, etc., thunderstorms are all which human beings could never attack or conquer, right? So just give you an example. 2 weeks ago, Hong Kong suffered from a black rainstorm alarm or alert, right? On the same day, there were a number of 220 kV circuits tripped in over Guangdong area. So that caused a power swing to Hong Kong Electric, probably even worse for CLP, over 200 megawatt. So what does it mean? It means a lot of the customers make call to us. What happened? Because they detect the power swing and the voltage fluctuation. So to those sensitive customers, like data center, financial trading houses, commodity trading houses, all these are very, very serious to them. For ordinary citizens, it's all right. It's probably a flick on the TV screen if you're watching. Other than that, you probably don't notice anything. All right. So all these make the quality issue far more than what we could understand about availability or simply capacity sufficiency. A little bit supplement to what CW mentioned about the Hong Kong backup. As he mentioned, coal definitely need many, many hours, if not days, to restart in case of any contingency. Even for an open cycle, could we have the sufficient oil in stock? I'm sorry, Jim probably mentioned a case in 2 years ago when you suffered from that typhoon hit. In that case, I don't know whether it's true or not, but I read from a lot of the newspaper heading that CLP grabbed all the diesel around Hong Kong, and a lot of the drivers or truck drivers could not get their refill at the petrol stations. So I'm sorry, probably you could clarify later. So basically, the fuel tanks in the power stations in Hong Kong is only planned or constructed to handle a very short crisis or contingency. We never mean to any long-term backup. So please don't rely on that. So some people may mention, well, how about the gas? Unfortunately, for gas supply, it needs to be, well advanced planning. We just can't ask for any extra gas whenever we like. Even now, we have so-called, daily, monthly, weekly, and yearly nomination and planning, etc. So it's something needs a very, very careful and prudent planning. Otherwise, it would be unfair to the source. And we also touch on the issue about the gas supply. In fact, yes, it is good. Hong Kong could build its own LNG terminal, but probably the time has already passed. It's already too late to go back. And in fact, around Hong Kong, there are more than quite a number of terminals. On the left, there are one big in Zhuhai, and on the right, I mean to the east, they are already free, either operating or being constructed. So in general, don't worry about the gas supply.